Hello everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, or wherever it is, wherever you are. Welcome back to our sort of seemingly beginning to be more regular series of Let's Play type videos. So you survived. You survived another video. This is obviously Tekken Tag Tournament 2. This is Yaster, obviously, and with me, as he was in the last video, is Serum Lake. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Right, I don't know, I think it's becoming pretty obvious at this very early stage that we're not like big, massive, professional Tekken players. And I've also been of the opinion that I really hate it when like sites make videos of themselves playing Tekken and feel they have to apologise for being crap at it. Just so that you all know, like all of you hardcore elite fighting game enthusiasts out there, this is how normal people play this game.
Yes, I too am not very good at this, and I used to think I was good, and then you started to play Tekken games online, and suddenly I realised no, I was awful.
Oh no, I was always getting like pounded in the arcades by these people that just live there. You get like, I mean, here in London, you get a lot of people that are down at the Trocadero on a daily basis. That there's a lot of people, there's a lot of kids that work in like restaurants that are nearby in some of the areas like Soho and like the Chinatown and stuff like that, and a lot of them are in the arcades all the time, just playing this game constantly. Well, not just this game, but any kind of most of the fighting games that are in there. I better explain actually what exactly it is that we're looking at here. This Tekken Tag Tournament. At the time of recording, it's about a week old here in the United Kingdom and Ireland. It came out mid last week in mainland Europe and in America. This is us playing the pair play mode. Player 1. Well, basically the two player. I think player 1 and player 3. I think it is myself and you. Serum.
That's right. Yes. So I'm the kangaroo.
And I'm playing as Jun, who is basically my sort of main character that I play as, my sort of go-to character. Well, she was my go-to character in Tag Tournament 1 and Tekken 2, but then she just didn't really appear all that often after that. Well, funnily enough, one of the characters that actually was designed to, I guess, to replace her after Jin was sort of changed is Asuka, who is present in this game, so technically I can actually have like a duo of Juns by just picking both of those characters. Player 2 and 4 is Envisager and Lord Ross. I'm not sure about the overall outcome of this, but didn't we like tandem on various occasions?
Maybe. My memory's a little hazy. I don't want to get fired for saying that we kicked the tar out of them.
Oh no, I always remind them I always remind those two on a daily basis that they're just rubbish. Not necessarily just at Tekken, but at general things. Nah. So we have to give big thanks to Namco for helping us out with Tekken at an early stage. Holly from Namco Bandai Partners was kind enough to invite us out to the launch party.
Oh yes, that's right.
Of the game, which was the Thursday night before it came out. I'm forgetting dates here. Like, there's a calendar on the wall over there. Actually, this was like the 13th, wasn't it? It was the 13th. Oh, you got a calendar there.
Yeah, just consulting the calendar. I believe it was the 13th.
And you, Serum, you've made a thread in the Fighting Game forum about the event, and you've posted some of the.
That's right. Yes, I have.
It was a gallery. Basically, Namco asked their community to enter this competition where they submitted artwork. Instagram has something to do with it. But they were supposed to take a photograph of the artwork with Instagram using its like rather hip filters.
That's right, yes.
Of images that reminded you of Tekken. And you can see some of those pictures on our forum because they sort of forwarded them to us. You can also see them in places like Eurogamer and stuff. I think Eurogamer may actually have the full set actually, but come to our forum because it's our forum.
Yeah, and if there's enough interest, I'm happy to post all of the pictures in there. It's just we kind of had a short amount of time to get pictures up, so I only put up about half a dozen of the 40 or so pictures.
Yeah. But are you enjoying the game?
Yes, I am actually. The only thing that I find challenging with it is the fact that I'm a very aggressive player. I don't play defensively at all, and in order to beat the last boss in the arcade mode, you have to be defensive.
And I think that's kind of like where I sort of like I'm best at playing, because I don't really have that many problems beating the last boss. As you've seen.
I know, and as you saw, I lost what, 22 times in a row, something like that.
Yeah.
Before I finally won.
Yeah.
And I know how to do it. I just can't get past my internal wiring of just run at them and hit them as hard as you can.
Because usually the final bosses that are in Tekken games are usually these big, massive, hulking beasts. And I always find that the best way to play against them is aggressively. However, the final characters in Tag Tournament 2 is Jun and her angel form. No, it's unknown form.
That's
from
right.
Tag Tournament 1. Those characters are basically normal characters, but at a harder difficulty level. So I always kind of like take them on as if I'm playing against like an actual normal computer controlled character, just a lot better than they normally are. So I always apply those strategies, the defensive ones. But it's great, really. I mean, what we're seeing here. I think I'm Bob. Am I Bob?
You are, yes.
I'm Bob in this one, and you're Paul.
Mhm.
Paul's been around for ages.
He has indeed, and his hair hasn't really changed, has it?
Yeah. Did you get any of the sort of pre-order? Do you have access to the pre-order DLC?
I
or
don't
you
know, but it is being made available for free to everyone in a few weeks, I believe. It's coming out in October, is it?
I think so, yeah. It's I was mentioning that because they've actually got Thin Bob, I think is one of the characters. if he's not one of the pre-order ones, it's I think that's one of the things that I've seen on its Wikipedia page. It might be a leak or something like that. I don't really know. I've always got to check these things really, but you know, people have like found images and stuff. Really, I think it is actually one of the pre-order characters, Thin Bob.
Yeah, and one of the other ones is Snoop Dogg, isn't it?
I don't think Snoop Dogg's a playable character, but I think his background.
Yeah, and he's done a song for the game as well, isn't he?
Already out of date. It's Snoop Lion now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, well, I don't keep up to date on these things.
That is the first round to us. Team
Blondie.
Team Blondie. Yeah, mind you, they've got Blondie as well.
Yes.
That's Lord Ross that's playing as Lily. I'm just waiting for him to switch out to see. What's her character? Anna. That's what it says in the top corner there. Not blonde. The only character that's not blonde in this game. There's a lot of good fighting games. A lot of good fighting games are actually coming out at the moment. Well, there's some anyway. As we're speaking, this is actually the weekend of the Borderlands 2 release. Fighting games taking a bit of a break this week. However, next week they'll be back in full force with Dead or Alive 5, which I've just realised rhymes. I've never actually ever said that out loud. I've always just said the new Dead or Alive game. Can we talk about that without talking about certain kinds of physics? I mean, there's enough of that happening here with blinking. What's her name? Christy. But no physics. No physics.
No, there's no breast physics in this. No, and the impression I've got, although I haven't played the full game, the impression I have of Dead or Alive 5 is that there is less of a focus on the jiggle physics, basically. It's more. I mean, it's still present, and there are still skimpy outfits, and there's even like pre-order bikini outfits as well. But it's more about kind of environmental destructibility, and a lot of the levels. Basically, every character's got a power move that you can charge up, and when you hit them, it goes into kind of like a quick time button press event where you aim where you want to fire them and launch them into the scenery.
Yeah, I see. Dead or Alive, I think. I mean, I'm going to try and sort of like really check out. That's something that you have to remember about it is that as far as PlayStation goes, it's actually been a wee while since we've seen Dead or Alive.
That's true, yes.
Because it's not been since like Dead or Alive 2, which, when you think of it, was actually 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, I think it was. I think it was about 11 years ago since Dead or Alive 2 came out. So, if you've basically just been living in the PlayStation bubble, then there's a lot to refamiliarise yourself with, and a lot to be introduced to you, I guess, with that. It's like a whole bunch of new characters and even more new ones in this one. But I'm like you, I mean, I've yet to actually really play that, so that's something which I'm going to hope to get my hands on with as soon as. But Tekken Tag is great. I mean, because the last time we saw Tekken was with Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where I sort of refamiliarised myself with some of the tag stuff. I never used to be able to do the tag moves back on Tag Tournament 1, but those that weren't really happy with the whole kind of like single player focused mode of Tekken 6, you know, the whole kind of Tekken Force mode.
Yes.
be pleased to know that if that wasn't your bag, it was a good little mode. But if you kind of like would rather stick with proper one-on-one fighting, then you'll be pleased to know that that mode isn't technically in there. It's actually been replaced. The single-player story mode, as it were, of Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is now the training mode, the combat.
Yeah, the Fight Lab, isn't it?
Fight Lab, yeah. It's not going to take you too long to get through, and it is a training mode basically, but it gives you a little story that follows Violet and his assistant out. He gets like a combat sent to him. His company's manufactured this combat, and it malfunctions, and he has to train it up from the beginning. It gives you a good sort of understanding of how the tag moves work, and how you can like throw people using both your guys at the same time, and what the best ways of juggling folk are.
It's worth noting as well that even if you don't necessarily like the 2-on-2 fighting in Tekken Tag, you can choose to play as one character against two. And in fact, playing through the arcade mode, there are instances where you only have to take on
one character.
Yeah.
Basically, it's for a while Tekken has done this whole kind of like idea of having ghost matches, just for every computer-controlled character you'll face against. Oh, someone got a trophy there. Well done. This is actually done on Envisager's machine on his account, really. So he got that trophy, or somebody probably got that on behalf of him. Yeah, all computer AI characters are actually based on AI that has been adapted from real players in Japan or something like that. Maybe it's worldwide. So they've been doing that for a wee while. And it seems that there are some people out there that sometimes the computer might throw up just one opponent for you, and they won't tag them out. The idea being is that if your team only has one character on there, then they'll be more powerful than having two people. So it kind of adds up at the end. But if you ask me, the real way of playing this is to have the two characters. So this level looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's very dreamlike, isn't it?
Yeah, they've always had a couple of like really busy levels in Tekken before. I mean, they've never had like the whole ring out thing that Virtua Fighter or Soul Calibur has. And Soul Calibur has some gorgeous levels as well, but they're always doing things like having you in like tulip fields or in amongst daisies and daffodils and stuff like that as well. And that level there was just fantastic. Well, I'm trying to put together a competition at the moment. I'm just waiting for a couple of legal bits and bobs now. I've teased in our Tekken thread in the Fine Game Forum about a way for you to win a copy of the game. More information of that's to come. I'll see if I can put that into the YouTube description or on the forum thread that this will be posted in, so keep an eye out for that. Should we go into other business?
Yeah, by all means.
Alright, okay, good. What's been catching your eye around your doings on the forums and various sites that we do?
For the most part, I deal with the RPG section, and we've had a little bit of discussion recently about the announcement of Dragon Age 3. So far, it's mostly positive, I'd say, because I'm trying to think of a diplomatic way of saying this, but Dragon Age 2's got a little bit of a bad reputation in our forums, and with the initial announcement that EA made, they did say, we've taken your feedback into account. We are looking to improve on Dragon Age 2, and I think our community has responded well to that.
It's BioWare, isn't it?
It is, yes.
News came out this week that the two guys that founded BioWare, and that have been with them for like about 14 odd years or something or 17 years I think they've been with them, have now actually quit the games industry.
Yeah. And
they're going on to, what was it, fishing or something?
I don't know, really.
I would say what their names are, but they are well known for having names that I can't pronounce.
One of them is Dr.
Musica, and the other gun's something else.
I've completely forgotten his name, and I'm embarrassed that I can't remember because I'm usually quite good with names.
A couple of other things that have come up this week. Have you seen the new slimmer PS3 model?
I have seen it, not in person, unfortunately. I wasn't actually in the office when it was Bearskoff. He had a hands-on session with it.
Hands-on, and having literal hands-on with it feels really good, doesn't it? Because they've replaced the sort of the little disc tray. Well, at the moment, the PS3 will actually stick your. What you do is what's the best way of describing it? How does the disc go in at the moment?
It's kind of like an auto inserty thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where it's going at the moment, but now they've changed it so that the top side of the console slides along and you place your disc inside using like a traditional kind of like what you would have in your old Discman or something like that, just
That's
a little
right.
kind of like spindle that you would put the disc onto. But yeah, there's not all that much that we can actually really say about that because we have on a personal level because we haven't even seen it yet. But if you go to like the official PlayStation Magazine's website, they've actually got an unboxing of the new thing, of the new console, where not only do you see the console, but you see all the packaging that comes with it as well. That's always good to see when you're unboxing things. Along with that, we've also, this was actually at Tokyo Game Show that it was officially announced. We've also announced the full lineup of games that are in the PS3 Essentials budget line. Basically, it's a new range of budget titles that are designed to actually be a bit more affordable than even the Platinum range. Got some really old games in there, like the original Uncharted, Resistance, Infamous, MotorStorm. Mag's going to be on there as well. Some of the early Move games are being featured on there, like Dance Dart Party, Medieval Moves, and The Fight. You can find the full list at blog.eu.playstation.com. I think that's all we've got time for at the moment there. I hope you enjoyed the footage. Keep it locked in. community.eu.playstation.com, twitter.com/Yaster, and
twitter.com/serum_lake.
right. We'll see you guys later with another video, hopefully.